Hello everybody and welcome to the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show. Let's get straight into it. Oosh. So first up, some great news for cyclists in England, as cyclists are now told that they can train for as long as they want, as many times a day as they want. And not only that, they can now ride with one other person that's not within their household, as long as they maintain that 2 meters of social distancing while out riding. So it's great news for cyclists within England. They can pretty much get back to normal now. Obviously, you're not going to have your social rides and your club rides. However, you can get out there now for as long as you want. Next up, ex-professional cyclist turned YouTuber Phil Guyman has just broken the world record for the fastest ever Everesting ride, ascending more than 8,848 meters in just over 8 hours. Guyman attempted the Everesting on the Mountain Gate Ridge Road north of Los Angeles, and he had to do it 60 times in order to complete the challenge. And over on the description of the ride on Strava, Guyman said, "There's vomit in my beard, but the suffering is a privilege." So the previous record for the fastest ever Everesting ride was 8 hours 29 minutes. Guyman did it in 8 hours and 4 minutes, beating it by 25 minutes. Absolutely crazy. Great effort there by Phil Guyman. While we're talking about YouTube, however, I've got to give a massive shout out to the vegan cyclist. What a cracking video he just put out a couple of days ago. If you've not seen it already, links down in the description. Essentially, it's just an advert for the baby maker. You remember the electric bike that we spoke about a few weeks ago? It's essentially an advert for that, but the way he's made it, it's just amazing. And I can appreciate, and I'm sure you can all appreciate, the quality and time and effort that he's put into that edit. So if you've not done already, go and check it out because it is a really, really good video. I'll be honest, slightly disappointed that I still don't have a baby maker, but whatever. But yeah, anyway, go and check that video out down in the link. It's amazing. Next up, and an update on a story that we spoke about last week, which was Team CCC and their main sponsor, the Polish shoe company CCC, potentially pulling out of their sponsorship. Well, there's no potential about it. They've just announced that they're going to be pulling out of sponsorship at the end of 2020, which is a year earlier than it should be after a 3-year contract was signed. But clearly CCC really struggling with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. They just can't see any reason to be sponsoring a team, especially when there's no racing going off at the minute. That means that the team are currently looking for a brand new sponsor, but who is going to step up to the plate? Who in their right mind right now would decide to sponsor a race team who are getting zero exposure? It's going to be tough for them to find a sponsor. Not only that, to make sure the team can survive till the end of this year, the riders have taken a 50% pay cut as well. According to a Dutch newspaper, the women's squad has its own agreement with the sponsors and they've met their obligations so far this year. Plus, the women's team might not be as expensive as the men's team. They might see that still as a viable option to keep sponsoring that team through to the end of the year and into 2021. However, the men's team, as of the end of 2020, is on the lookout for a brand new sponsor. But unfortunately, CCC aren't the only team in trouble. We had team boss from Astana, Alexander Vinokurov, saying that if no racing happens at all this year, the team is going to cease to exist. Next up, and some indoor cycling news, and if you've not had your fix of watching professional riders riding on indoor trainers, on indoor training platforms, then we have a new event for you. It's the Challenge of Stars. Hashtag save the date, 23rd to 24th of the 5th, 2020. The best pros are going to compete in the Challenge of the Stars, the first virtual tournament in partnership with Be Cool Sport. 8 climbers and 8 sprinters will face off in a knockout challenge to reveal who is the strongest in their category. Hashtag stay tuned. And then here's the promo video for it, which I can only assume has been done by like a 15 or 16-year-old doing some sort of design course at school. Challenge of Stars. 16 top riders, 8 sprinters. 1 versus 1, 1 winner. 8 climbers, 1 versus 1, 1 winner. Live, 23rd to the 24th of May. Follow us on those social medias. Barring the horrendous graphics on that promo video, this one sounds pretty exciting. Rather than it being a straight up race like we've seen on Zwift, we've seen on Ruvi, and we saw on Be Cool right back at the start of this whole lockdown season of racing with the virtual Tour of Flanders. But this one's slightly different. It's a knockout tournament, so it's going to be going head-to-head, rider against rider in a straight-up tournament knockout style event. So I think what we're going to see out of that is a lot more engagement and a lot more action, a lot more of the time. You know, we've seen time and time again virtual races where very little happens for the majority of the race, then it's a bit of a sprint towards the end, or they're on a climb and one rider just dominates. But this, every time that a rider gets on a bike, they've got a chance of being in the next round or getting sent, not getting sent home, just getting the computer switched off because they're out. So it's going to be interesting to see how they set it up for the sprinters. Is it going to be like a 2 kilometre route with a sprint at the end? Are they going to be using the velodrome? I'm sure there's a velodrome in Be Cool. Are they going to be using that and doing match sprint style sprints? I don't know. And then in terms of the climbs, are they going up alpine ascents? Are they just going to be hilly climbs? Like, depending how long and how hard the climb is will determine who is going to get the best advantage in terms of climbing. With sprinters, it's kind of just a straight up sprint. But with climbers vary depending what kind of actual climb it is. Is it a puncher's climb? Is it a long ascend as a climb? You know what I mean? Like the mountain goats, the ones that excel at 2,000 meters. That's not really going to work on a virtual platform, is it? Anyway, we're still unsure as to who the 8 are taking part in the sprint and the climb. However, over on Cycling News, they have the potential list of 8 riders taking part. So over on the sprint side, we've got Pascal Ackermann, world champ Mads Pedersen, Nasser Bouhanni, Mathieu van der Poel, and in this one I doubt he's going to get dropped like he has done in the past on Zwift. Fabio Jakobsen, Caleb Ewan and Matteo Trentin. Varying degrees of sprinting ability out of all of those, but my money, depending on the physics of Be Cool, will be Caleb Ewan, I think. Short and powerful. Over in the climbers race, you've got Rafa Majka, Vincenzo Nibali, Giulio Ciccone, Warren Barguil, Jakob Fuglsang, Thomas de Gendt and Simon Geschek. My money's going to be on probably Thomas de Gendt for this, because I can't see them being very long climbs, because it wouldn't make for a very interesting race, would it? Just watching 2 riders competing up an alpine climb. So I reckon they're going to be a lot shorter, a lot punchier and a lot steeper, these climbs. And if they are, my money's on Thomas de Gendt. But what do you think to this? Are we sick of indoor cycling now? I know a lot of riders, now that the ban has been lifted or there's less restriction on people having to stay indoors, that more and more people are just going outdoors. You know, you've seen it here in England. Over in France, rules are starting to get relaxed a little more, so more people are being able to go outside. And has that moment now died for the indoor cycling scene? Is it kind of done now till winter? Or are we still, you know, brand new to it? Are we still trying to get our fix as much as we can? Like, I'll give it a watch, I'll see what it's all about, but yeah, I do feel like everybody's ready now. All cycling fans are ready for that first race at Strade Bianche, if it goes ahead. But anyway, yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Who's your money on to win these out of the sprinters and the climbers, or do you not care anymore? Let's finish off on some positive news. May 19th, mark it in your diary. It was the moment, it was the day that real life cycling returned to real world cyclists. So Vietnam is going to play host to the first real world race since everything got shut down because of COVID-19. May 19th, there's going to be 18 stages of essentially the Tour of Vietnam. It's the HTV Cup. It's going to be live streamed over on Facebook. Now, granted, we're not going to have the big names racing. In fact, foreigners aren't even allowed to enter. There's only 2 there because they already live there. But there's been no reported deaths of COVID-19. So Vietnam have pretty much got it nailed over there by the looks of it, which has allowed them to make this race happen. Now, this race, had everything else been going off as normal, probably wouldn't get any recognition, probably not even on Pro Cycling Stats. However, the fact that we've not seen any live racing for God knows how long now, the fact that there is going to be some live racing taking place, are you going to be tuning in? Are you going to be watching it? Do you just need any sort of racing right now to feel normal again? Leave your comments down below. Are you going to be watching the HTV Cup over in Vietnam? Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure, if you've not done already, that you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you've not enjoyed today's video for whatever reason, hit that dislike button. But above all, Make sure you're back tomorrow as I'm live streaming from 7 p.m. UK time. I think it's 7. I don't know when it is. Go and follow me on Instagram and you'll find out when I'm doing it. Thanks for watching. Bye.